All right. Psalms, the 18th chapter. Open it up. Psalms, the 18th chapter. We used to do this. Got away from it a little bit. Psalms 18 and 49. Do another test right quick. Can y'all see that? It's light. I think that's start down, no?
You know that's right. Look at the stars.
Down.
Psalms chapter 18 and verse 49. Therefore will I give thanks unto thee, O Yahuwah, among the heathen, and sing praise unto thy name.
So this is our job, to give thanks and praise to the Most High on a daily, always, right? So let's give a hand clap for the Most High today on the Shabbat. And as we jump into this thing right quick, today's lesson is going to be about this. You see that? Life. All right. Who know about this game? Bezale'El. Anybody know about this guy?
No scholars don't know?
Nobody?
Y'all haven't studied the law, have you?
I see you before.
Send the law.
He was a king? Word? Show me that. He was wicked? Oh, man. Good grief. No. The son of Uriah. Oh, he's the son of Uriah. Yeah, that blue letter prophet right there. Right? Boy, cheating. Bezale'El. Way to get it there. So, now, anybody familiar with the language enough to know how this is a translation of how his name is spelled or pronounced? Of course you know. How is it supposed to be pronounced? Bezale'El, right? Yeah. So who can see the error in what was done and why it's pronounced Bezale'El?
The Z.
Not necessarily the Z.
The L.
Nope. The EE, right? Now it's pronounced Bezale'El, right?
This is high level knowledge.
A-L.
It's just a pronunciation, right? Or transliteration.
It's the A-L.
On the end? All L.
With a hyphen on it.
All L. Why is this? Or why would it be the AL or the EL? Back to you. No, no. Anybody else?
Because that's the word for a mighty one or God, El.
Exactly. This is Elohim, right? So y'all see how they, when they put it together, how it's Bezale'El when it's supposed to be something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or separated, right? In some type of way.
In the shadow
So,
of the Most High.
it means what?
In the shadow of the Most High.
His name means in the shadow of El, or Elohim, right?
Yep.
What is this shadow also looked at as?
Protection.
Protection, right? Oh, I got that blue letter, right?
And you
So,
gotta use one of your switches.
huh? In the shadow or protection of Elohim, right? My IB not here, so I wrote down this in its Hebrew characters, right? Well, I just got my help from my Hebrew scholars right here in the back. You know what I'm saying? So. What's wrong with what I just did? What's wrong with what I just did? Hold on, Josh. Nobody know? Scroll from left to right. Right? Trying to see what's up. But Hebrew is written and read from what? Right to left. Y'all should have been said that. I heard somebody whispering sound. He ain't doing that right now.
Left to right.
That what he-
English.
All right.
Or Japanese is left to right.
Bezale'El. Alright? So,
Oh, no, I see it. I see it.
yeah. So we got Bezale'El, right? So his name means in the shadow or the protection of Elohim. Before we start talking about it, what do y'all think it means to be in the protection of the Most High? Or what does it mean to you to be in the protection or the shadow of the Most High? Everything. Like what?
Like what?
God is everything, huh? He's
He's
guiding you?
Have wisdom, understanding.
No.
You know?
Just read the verse. Just reading the verse. What happened? A covering, right? What else? In the protection of the Most High. Don't nobody know what it feels like to be
It's mostly greasy.
the Most High?
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
Being in His will, everything is done according to His will. Covering, safety. What else?
I hate when you can't get the piece.
This Psalms 5 and 11. Now.
I don't spit.
In the protection of the Most High. Now this is
I still have.
not really what we're going to be dealing with today. I just wanted to key in on the meaning of His name. Just to start off, right? Yep, Psalms 5 and 11.
Tehillim 5 and 11. But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice.
How many put their trust in the Most High? Go ahead.
Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them.
Because he did what?
He defendest them.
Any situation you ever been in where you feel like your back was against the wall and he just swooped in and helped you out?
Yes.
He said he defends you. Right? Read.
Let them also that love your name,
That do what?
that love your name,
Anybody know what loving the name means? Obedience. What else? Laws. What else? Honor him. Got missing something.
who's the name? Where does the name come from?
Hamashiach. Right? He the name, right? Like I say, and his name coming from fire. You just taught on that language? Sharpen up. Right? Read on.
Because thou defendest them, let them also that love your name be joyful in you. For you, Yahuwah, will bless the righteous with favor. Wilt thou compass him as with a shield?
So he gonna do what?
He's going to surround you as with favor, as with a shield.
Psalms 91 and 1. Psalms 91 and 1.
Tehillim 91 and 1.
Hey, what's the when you think of the shadow, what verse pop in your head? I said what verse? 23rd Psalm. Okay. I was trying to see, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Psalm 91 and 1.
Tehillim 91 and 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High.
He that do what?
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
You're going to abide under his protection if you dwell inside of him, right? It's easy to say, but not so easy to do when you're in your flesh. We know this. We talked about this, right? Psalms 23. Psalms 23. Verse 4.
Tehillim 23 and 4.
Matter of fact, start at verse 1 for the sake of, you know.
Tehillim 23 and 1. Yahuwah is my shepherd, I shall not want.
How many of y'all still want? Like y'all in want or in need right now? Okay. Go ahead.
He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters.
Now we're going to actually have a lesson breaking down this chapter verse for verse. You know what I'm saying? It's some deep stuff in here, right? Go ahead.
He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
Hold up. He lead me in the path of what?
Of righteousness.
What is the path of righteousness? He leads you in the path of the Torah, in the law, right? For his what sake?
For his name's sake.
Hold what you got. Go to Exodus 23. He said he do this for his name's sake. Got to go back to the law, right? Exodus 23, pick it up at around verse 20.
Exodus chapter 23 and 20. Behold, I send the Malachim before you to keep you in the way.
To keep you in the what?
In the way.
He's just talking about the way of righteousness or the way of Torah, the way of the law, right? Read.
And to bring you into the place which I have prepared.
So he got a place that he prepared that he's supposed to be dropping down on the earth, right? He gonna bring us there. Read.
Beware of him.
Be what?
Beware of him. And obey his voice. Provoke him not.
Yeah.
For he will not pardon your transgressions. For my name is in him.
For whose sake? For his name's sake. Right? His name is in this person that he sent to lead us in the way, to bring us to this place that he prepared. Right? Go back to Psalms 23.
Psalms 23 and verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
I walk through the valley of the what?
Shadow of death.
Shadow of death. Have anybody been in that valley or in a spot where you felt like I'm about to die? Or I think I'm about to die? The other day, right? Man. Say again? You actually did. All praise to the Most High. You still here.
That he was
Right.
mindful of his covenant of the 7-day Sabbath.
All praise.
All praise.
It was 4 years ago.
All praise. So he says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the what?
Shadow of death,
You'll do what?
I will fear no evil.
I'm not going to fear. That's hard to say. I mean, it's easy to say, but it's hard to do while we in this flesh. You know what I'm saying? It's not you got somebody that got a gun to your head, and you know what I'm saying, the first thing that pop in your mind is what? Honestly, realistically.
Yeah.
Death. Right? Hope he don't kill you. Right? How should we train ourselves to think?
Most I got.
Man, you better go ahead. You better go ahead. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting the wrong battle. Right? This is what it means to be in the protection. You know? I will do what?
I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over.
Cup runneth over, right? We ain't supposed to be having a care in the world about our enemies out here. Nobody that's dealing deceitfully about us, talking behind our back, none of that. We ain't supposed to fear none of that, because if we following after righteousness for his name's sake, they in trouble. Plain and simple.
Just what you was just saying, with us basically going through this learning process, someone just, I guess now, actually was just last week, me and my husband had laid down and actually went to sleep, and someone busted out the bathroom window rod and just woke us up out our sleep. And for a minute, we was hysterical. I mean, in a hysterical thing, we didn't know what to do. And all of a sudden, we called my son, and he got over there and regrouped. And after we regrouped, I got this Bible, and that's what I did. I told my husband, let's pray.
Absolutely.
I grabbed this Bible, and I turned it, after my son and them got the window back covered, because it's in the middle of the night, so we couldn't get nowhere to get our window fixed. And they got the window boarded up. I got this Bible, and I read that 91st Psalms, and I put it in my bathroom window. And we laid down there, and we went back to sleep. So this word will comfort you in the midst of
absolutely.
terror is around you. It will comfort you, and it did for us that night. So going through these things for a minute, you get in the flesh realm. But immediately, if you trust the Most High, He'll bring you right back to that spirit realm.
Got to.
I just thank Him for this word.
Absolutely. Got to.
That's why I don't know if anybody seen my post a couple of days ago. That's why I said, you can't threaten me with the kingdom. I ain't worried about you kill me. I ain't worried about nothing.
No doubt.
You can't threaten me with the kingdom.
No doubt. So we know that being in the protection of the Most High is a beautiful thing, right? Like I said, I just wanted to sidebar with that because, you know, it helps to refresh every once in a while, right? But back to dealing with Bezale'El, right? Exodus chapter 31. Exodus chapter 31. Before you get to Exodus, go to Hosea 12 and 10. Exodus 31, and we're going to start at verse 1 in a second. About to grab Hosea chapter 12 and verse 10. Lay down, you know, what this lesson really going to be about. Hosea 12 and 10. So nobody really know about Bezale'El like that, right? You know about Bezale'El? Craftsman.
Put all the stuff in him that he needed to have done.
You put in him the stuff that he needed done, right? Okay. So for everybody that don't know, we're going to go into it. And even for those who do, we're going to see a little bit more deeper into Bezale'El today. You know what I'm saying? Hosea 12 and 10.
Hosea chapter 12 and verse 10. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions, and used similitudes.
I've used what?
Similitudes by the ministry of the prophets.
So he used similitude by the ministry of the prophets. So today, what we about to get into? A similitude. Who was he showing you a similitude of in these similitudes? Of Mashiach, right? Now, get Exodus 31. Exodus 31. We're going to get into a similitude. I thought that this, when I was reading through Exodus, this popped out to me. And it popped out to me, and you know what I'm saying? I was like, well, we got to get into it. Right?
Exodus chapter 31 and verse 1. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezale'el, the son of Uriah.
Hold that. He says, I've called by name Bezale'el. How many people have you seen him say, I called by name in the book? Not too many at all. In fact, you can count them on your hand, and it don't even fill your whole hand. He said, I called him by name. This already set him apart for everybody that was around him. Who else was called by name? Jacob. Oh, what you got? Get Isaiah 43. Isaiah 43 and 1.
Isaiah 43 and 1. But now, thus saith Yahuwah, that created you, O Jacob, and he that formed you, O Israel. Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name.
I have called you by name. I've called you out. You ain't got to worry about nothing. I done set you apart out of everybody. This the same thing he gave with Bezale'el. He says, I've called you by name. Everybody don't get this type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back.
Exodus 31 and verse 2. See, I have called you by name, Bezale'el, the son of Uriah, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah.
Of who tribe?
Tribe of Judah.
Why would he have to be from Judah?
Similitude.
Because of what?
Similitude.
Because of similitude. Mashiach was from where?
From Judah.
From Judah. It's evident, right? Go ahead.
And I have filled him with the Spirit of the Most High.
I filled him with what?
The Spirit of the Most
The
High.
last time I taught, we seen where it came to in the Old Testament or the Old Covenant, right? The Torah, that men didn't just possess the Ruach HaKodesh. The Most High gave it, took it away, gave it, took it away, gave it, took it away, right? He says, this man has it, right? I filled him with it. Read.
I have filled him with the Spirit of the Most High.
In what?
In wisdom, and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in manner of all workmanship.
So he says, I filled him with wisdom, understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship. Where was his understanding or his knowledge at? Was it supreme? Was it mid-tier? Was it low? Was it? What did he know? Exactly. He knew pretty much everything. What they say, a jack of all trade, right? Write down that word workman. Try to hold on there. Write down that word workman. He says, I have filled him with the Ruach of the Most High in wisdom, understanding, knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship. To do what?
To devise an artful work, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of the timber, to work in all manner of workmanship. And I, behold, I have given with him Ahololib, the son of Ahishamach, of the tribe of Dan, and in the hearts of all that are wise-hearted, I have put my wisdom.
He said, in the hearts of what?
In the heart of the wise-hearted, I have put the wisdom that they may make all that I have commanded thee.
The what?
The tabernacles of the congregation.
So they was charged to make the tabernacle of the congregation. What else?
And the ark of the testimony.
The ark of the testimony.
And the mercy seat that is thereupon. And in all furniture of the tabernacle.
They had to make everything. Read. But wait, who did it start with though? Bezale'El. But everything else had to be made. Keep reading.
And the table, and its furniture, and the pure candlestick with all his furniture, and the altars of incense, and the altars of burnt offerings with all his furniture, and the lavers, and his foot, and the cloth of the service.
What else they had to make?
And the cloths of the service.
The cloths of the service. Keep reading.
And the Kodesh garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in the priest's office, and the anointing oil.
They had to make the oil. Man. Read on.
And the sweet incense of the Kodesh place, according to all that I have commanded, these shall they do.
So, starting with Bezale'El, he gave them the blueprint to make everything that we know as being the temple of the Most High. Right? And what had to happen with the services of the temple, which is the garments for who? The priests. Right? So, they were charged with all of this. The temple as we know it, from here on out, the structure was given to Bezale'El to do it. As it is on earth. So when he gave the order down, it was because this is how it was up there. Remember, he got to bring something down. So I got to show you a shadow of what? Of what's to come. Right? This is what he did with Bezale'El and the people that he had rolling with him. Right? Get Mark 1. Get Mark chapter 1 and verse... I think it's verse 10. So we got to show how Mashiach actually compared up to what Bezale'El just got allotted to him, right? So he said he filled him with the Ruach. It might be Mark chapter 6. Verse 9, get verse 9. Mark 1 and 9. So Bezale'El was filled with the Ruach HaKodesh, right? We know Mashiach was filled with the Ruach HaKodesh, but we got to go and we got to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the children of Israel is like Missouri. You got to show me, right? Missouri is the show me state. You got to show me, right? Mark 1 and verse 9.
Marcos 1 and 9. And it came to pass in those days that Yahusha came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was immersed of John in Jordan. And straightway coming up out of the water, he saw the Shamayim open, and the Ruach like a dove descending upon him. And there came a voice from Shamayim saying, You are my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
So, this is the Ruach. He was filled with the Ruach when he got baptized. Not to say he didn't have it before, right? But he had to lay down a foundation to what had to come with us. You know what I'm saying? He got baptized, right? So the Ruach came down on him. The Most High said, This is my Son in whom I am well pleased, right? So he was filled with the Ruach. It says that he had wisdom, right? Mark chapter 6 and verse 2.
Marcos 6 and 2. And when the Shabbat day was come, he began to teach.
He began to do what?
To teach.
He began to do what?
To teach.
Write that word teach down.
And when the Shabbat day was come, he began to teach in the synagogues. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence have this man these things? And what wisdom?
And what?
And what wisdom is this which giveth unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands?
So it says, what wisdom is this that this man got, that these mighty works is done with his hands? Right? Now we know Mashiach couldn't exalt himself on the earth. So other people had to do it. You ain't going to see him saying, oh yeah, I got all the wisdom. These is people that, some people that even rejected him, like, man, what's up with this man got wisdom? Right? How is he able to do the stuff he able to do? So we see that he got wisdom, right? Understanding. Get Luke, the 2nd chapter. Ah, I didn't have that. Read that. Read that.
Verse 3.
Hold on. What was the first word I told y'all to write down? Workman.
Is not this the carpenter?
The what?
The carpenter?
The what?
Workman?
What does a carpenter do? Work with their hands, with the tools, right? Keep going.
The son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him?
So it says that he was the carpenter. That was Mark 6 and 2 and 3. So he was a carpenter. So his quote-unquote regular job was working with his hands. Quote-unquote regular job was working with his hands, right? Let's get, just hold on to that. Luke 2 and 43. Luke 2 and 43.
Luke chapter 2 and verse 43. And when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child Yahusha tarried. The child
He was just a child at this point. Read.
Yahusha tarried behind Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it.
So we see back in Mark how it showed that he was a carpenter. He worked with his hands, right? But it's all work dealing with your hands. If anybody got a job to where they got to talk to people, they got to deal with people different, right? So you ain't always got to work with your hands to be a worker, right? Go ahead.
But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey.
When a what?
Went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinfolks and acquaintances.
So he done went missing. And they like, man, where he at, man? Right? Keep going.
And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days,
After how many days?
3 days,
So he was gone for 3 days. That ain't nothing but a shadow of what was to come when he got older, right? He left us for 3 days too, right? Go ahead.
they found him in the temple.
They found him where?
In the temple.
They found him in the temple. They found him in the temple. Keep going.
Sitting in the midst of the doctors,
Uh-huh.
both hearing them and asking them questions.
Uh-huh.
And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding.
They were astonished at his understanding. He only asking questions. You hear me? Y'all ever got that reaction from when you asking people questions that think they know something? You ask them something outside of what they know, they're like, You know what I'm saying? But these people were astonished. This child walking in here like, well, get the script in. Show me. You know what I'm saying? They looking at him like he crazy. Right? Read.
And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers.
And his what?
And answers.
Always be prepared to give answer. Right? Always. He was a mere child. Read on.
And when they saw him, they were amazed at his mother, said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us?
Man, why you do this to us, man? Why you done left off? It's like your son in the grocery store with you. You picking up some beans or something, and he just take off. And you walking all around the store calling his name, you find him in the game section. Man, why you leave? What you? I used to do that all the time to my mama. But they said, why you did this to her, right? Go ahead.
Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing.
We was looking for you, we was sad. You know what I'm saying? You got to especially think about what's going on in Mary here, right? Because she was told that this is the guy. You know what I'm saying? You about to have the son of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? He gone? It's my fault if I lost him. Joseph, you should have been watching. Right? You just got to imagine. These real people. Right? Go ahead.
And he said unto them, How is it that you seek me?
Uh-huh.
Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business?
Hold up. What? What he saying to him?
How is it that you sought me?
Uh-huh.
Don't you know that I must be about my father's business?
I'm about my father's business. Why you seeking me? Y'all know this was around feast time, right? What feast was this? Passover, right? Ain't it ironic that on Passover whatever, right? He like, I had to be about my father's business. So what was he doing? He was working. He was working. Yeah. Like me and your father was looking for you. Hold on, man. Respect you and everything. You know what I'm saying? I got to be about his business. You know what I'm saying?
Not Joseph's business.
Not Joseph. My daddy. Right? So we see that he had understanding, right? We still keep seeing this stuff about this workman, all of this stuff, right? Popping up. Let's get with his knowledge and his understanding as well. Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 15.
Hey, we got to quiet it down.
Matthew chapter 15. Don't forget about Bezale'El. We showing how he had the same attributes as Bezale'El, right? Or Bezale'El had the same attributes as him. You know what I'm saying? That's what you say when you're older than somebody. Oh, you look like me. No, boy, you look like me. Right? Start at verse 1.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 1. Then came Yahusha, scribes and Pharisees. Then came to Yahusha, scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do your disciples transgress the traditions of the elders?
The what?
Why do your disciples transgress the traditions of the elders?
Why he going against our law? Right? Read.
For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do you also transgress the commandments of the Most High by your traditions?
Do anybody know how this tradition came about? Because he just straight up gave him a gut check right here. Right? He gave him a gut check. He told him, how you going to talk about your traditions when y'all transgressing the commandments of the Most High? What you saying don't mean nothing. They don't hold no weight.
He's saying what they're doing.
Absolutely. So do y'all know where this comes from? Just a little sidebar.
12 tribe.
No, not the 12 tribe. That boy got his shotgun out. Where did they make this tradition from? It came from somewhere.
Talmud.
Exactly. Where it come from?
Talmud.
They made it in the Talmud, but it came from something that was actually, it was a law, but it was for a specific people. You know what I'm saying? And they twisted and turned it and made it something different. For the priest.
To be clean, something to do with that.
Right? Yeah, I didn't write it down. My apologies. All right. Get Exodus chapter 30. Hold what you got, though. Get Exodus chapter 30. So now when we look at the Talmud, right, and we look at how they came and they did things, especially the Pharisees, right, what they were about quote-unquote cleanliness. They were about, you know what I'm saying, they twisted the law. You know what I'm saying? They twisted the law. And we're going to see one of the ones that they actually molded and twisted and shaped and made something totally different. Right? Exodus chapter 30. Start at verse 17.
Exodus chapter 30 and verse 17. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, You shall also make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal. And thou shalt put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar.
So it's supposed to be in the middle of the tabernacle and the altar, right? This thing of brass, right? Read.
And you shall put water therein for Aaron and his sons.
For who?
For Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet.
So they had to, before they dealt with the altar, anything going towards the altar, they had to wash their hands and their feet. It was always about cleanliness, right? You had the spots where they had to wash themselves before going into the temple. You had all of these things, right? We said this particular thing right here, they had to wash their hands and their feet. This was before going to the altar, right? So what did the Pharisees do? They made this all the time thing. For everybody. This ain't got nothing to do with the people. Yeah, and now, it's not just before you go to the altar. Because what was at the altar? Burnt offerings, food, right? Now they made this a thing to where everybody got to do it, right? So Mashiach had to come and check him like, man, come on, man. With that madness y'all talking about. Go back to Matthew 15, right? They twisted the law so bad that regular things seemed almost impossible to do. You know what I'm saying? And even being on this journey, being an Israelite, being in this walk, we do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? When we err in knowing the law and knowing the truth, we say things that we ain't supposed to say. We put stuff in place that ain't supposed to be in place. We do it, right? Nobody innocent.
That's why we've been stressing this whole law thing.
Exactly. That's why the law is key, right? Matthew 15, and go to verse 16.
Matthew 15 and 16. And Yahushua said, are ye also yet without understanding?
Y'all without understanding too? Y'all don't know what this talking about? Y'all don't know what it means to defile yourself? Is y'all, right? Y'all void of understanding? Read.
Do not yet ye understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and is cast out in the drought? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceeds evil thoughts, murders, idolatries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man.
So y'all got it wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's not what you eat with or because your hands a little dirty. You know what I'm saying? Y'all thinking carnal, right? So he was showing this understanding. You know, it's certain spots where they'll come asking questions and he'll put them on silent mode. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, if we answer it this way, we got it. If we answer it this way, we got it. So he was showing his understanding. He was showing his knowledge. He was showing his wisdom all throughout, right? It says that he was skilled in all manner of workmanship. Bezale'El was, right? So let's see more of what this is talking about so we can gauge on how Mashiach was the same way, right? Bezale'el's name was mentioned, I think, maybe like 8 times in the book. That was actually him. You know what I'm saying? There was another Bezale'el, but it wasn't him. And it was mentioned in 7 chapters, right? So it wasn't a lot of information on Bezale'el, only the things that he did, right? I don't remember them mentioning about his death. They may did, I don't remember. Mention about his death either. So we're going to look into what he was talking about and being skilled, a skilled workman, right? Exodus chapter 36. See all of the stuff that this man had to do. Bezale'el was like a contractor. You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, I'm giving you the job. It's up to you to go out and get the rest of these people who want to work, you know what I'm saying, and put my house together. Exodus 36 and 1.
Exodus chapter 36 and verse 1. Then wrought Bezale'el Aholiab.
Now this Aholiab, he's mentioned by name when he's talking about Bezale'el, right? Everybody else who worked with him wasn't. Not saying that they weren't important. Everybody is equally as important. But this guy was mentioned. I want y'all to think about that. Go ahead.
And Aholiab, and every wise-hearted man in whom Yahuwah put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary, according to all that Yahuwah had commanded.
So he gave Aholiab, and every wise-hearted man that he put the wisdom into crafting these things, right? To work the work that needed to be worked, right? It was a way that he gave them that understanding, a way that he gave them that knowledge. We're going to get into that. Go ahead.
And Moses called Bezale'el and Aholiab,
Man, he just did it again?
and every wise-hearted man,
Mm-hmm.
in whose heart Yahuwah had put wisdom, even everyone whose heart stirred him up to come unto the work to do it.
Uh-huh.
And they received Moses and all offerings, which the children of Israel had wrought for the work of the service of the sanctuary.
So people was bringing food. They was bringing different things that you needed to actually work on the thing. Gold, silver, wood, all that type of stuff. They bringing all of this stuff to them so they can do the work. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
To make it withal, and they brought yet unto him free offerings every morning.
They did what?
Brought free offerings every morning.
Every morning they got up, they went and gave them free offerings. Right? Yeah, that's when they, you know. Go ahead.
And all the wise men that wrought all the work of the sanctuary came every man from his work which they made. And they spake unto Moses, saying, the people bring much more than enough for the service to the work which Yahuwah commanded to make.
How did they know that the people was bringing more than what the Most High commanded? Because he put the knowledge in them, right?
Yeah.
They know exactly what need to be brought for them to do the work. This is key. Because the same thing that Israelites do today. Same thing that Christians do, Baptists do, Muslims do. Why do we add to the stuff that the Most High commands us? We add to it, right? We don't need no more. We got enough. We got enough to do the job. This is enough to do the job. Right? Go ahead.
And Moses gave commandments, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, let neither man nor woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary. So the people were restrained from bringing. For the stuff they had was sufficient for all the work to make it.
It was what?
It was sufficient.
It was the stuff that he commanded was sufficient. This is good enough. Right? Read.
For all the work to make it, and too much.
Okay. Let's go to Exodus 37 and verse 1.
Exodus chapter 37 and verse 1. And Bezale'el made the ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and a cubit and a half the breadth of it, and a cubit and a half the height of it.
Have anybody ever did the measurement, the math on this stuff?
Cubits, 18
You did
inches.
before though?
Cubits, 18 inches.
It was
18 inches.
18 inches is a cubit. We go over and do the math. But this stuff was huge, massive. This stuff was, you know what I'm saying? Right? Go ahead.
And the height of it, and he overlaid it with pure gold within and without, and made a crown of gold to it round about. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold to be set by the 4 corners of it.
Verse 6.
Verse 6. And he made the mercy seat of pure gold, 2 cubits and a half was the length thereof.
Now, how important is the temple, the mercy seat, the Ark of the Covenant? How important is all of this stuff? Very important. What happened if they messed up? What happened if they was off an inch? What happened if they, you get what I'm saying? This is how important this job was, and he put it all on this guy's shoulders. You responsible for this. Because I gave you the tools to do the job. I gave you the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding to do the job. Right? You're responsible. Could anybody imagine that weight? I pass it on to the next man. Right now. You know what I'm saying? Cole can do it. You know what I'm saying? I trust Cole. You know what I mean? right? He had a lot of weight on his shoulders.
I am supervisor. Oh, yeah. Get that up. Move it over there.
Right.
Yeah, he do. He do. Get verse 7. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. And he made 2 cherubims of gold, beaten out of one piece, made he them on the 2 ends of the mercy seat. 1 cherub to the end on this side, and another cherub on the other end of that side. Out of the mercy seat made he the cherubim on the 2 ends thereof.
So, I mean, the list go on and on. We're not going to read through all of this stuff, man, but the list go on and on what this man was doing. Read verse 29.
Verse 29. And he made the Kodesh anointing oil, and the pure incense of sweet spices, according to the work of the apothecary. There we go.
There you go. Good looking out. Right? So, they even, like I said, they had to make the oil. All of these type of things they had to do. It wasn't just the big jobs, the you know what I'm saying, making these big the cedar wood. It wasn't all of that type of stuff. It was down to the smallest thing as far as oil. Exodus chapter 38.
Exodus what?
Exodus 38. Exodus 38. And verse give verse 22. Just read verse 22.
Exodus chapter 38 and verse 22. And Bezale'El, the son of Uriah, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that Yahuwah commanded Moses.
So he said he made it. He made everything that the Most High told him to make. Right? Read.
And with him was Aholiab, the son of Ahishma, of the tribe of Dan.
So he kept working after? Go ahead.
An engraver and a cunning workman.
He was a what?
A cunning workman.
He was an engraver though, right? What do you use to engrave?
Chisel.
A chisel, a sharp tool, right? Carving tool, right? True. So we have to make the tool. Go ahead.
An engraver and a cunning workman. An embroiderer in blue, and in purple, and in scarlet, and in fine linen. And all the gold that was occupied for the work, and all the works of the Kodesh place, even the gold of the offerings.
So it's talking about Aholiab and how he continued to do his part of the work after Bezale'El was done what he had to do, right? After he did what the Most High commanded, right? And Aholiab, he finished out the work. I want y'all to think about this guy, Aholiab. This dude, he means something, right? He means something. Matter of fact, somebody look up his name right quick. What's his name?
Father's tent.
Father's tent. Father's tent. Father's tent. Or tabernacle. Ain't another word for is tabernacle. And I want y'all to hold that too. Right? It's all going to mean something in a minute. But we see all of this work this man did. He worked on the temple. He worked on the inside of the temple. He worked on the oils. He worked on the garments. He did all of this type of stuff, right? Even dealing with what the garments look like. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I be getting us the buildings. He be, you know what I'm saying? He be making the garments. He about to change his name to Bezale'El.
I'm a holy ad.
Oh, you a holy ad? Okay. So, like I say, when you look at the type of garments they made and how intricate, and, you know what I'm saying, how every detail was listed, you know what I'm saying? These men were very skilled in what they did. All of this stuff they had to do on Bezale'El's shoulder, right? John chapter 1 and 1. Go ahead. John 1 and 1.
John chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah. The same was in the beginning with Yah. All things were made by Him.
Wait a minute. So it was on Bezale'El to make everything that we know as far as the temple, everything that go on in the temple, all this stuff. It was on him to make everything. Same thing with Hamashiach, right? Just going back and forth showing a similitude. Everything was made by Mashiach. His credentials is in Genesis chapter 1 on up. On what he made, right? Read on.
All things were made by Him, and without Him was not anything made.
Without Bezale'El being given that position, was the stuff going to get made? He called him by name. Just like he did Mashiach. Right? Read.
In Him was not anything made that was made. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men.
Don't you know that by him building this temple, building the altar, the mercy seat, all of these type of things, we was able to have our priests do the things that they were set up to do. We were able to have an atonement day. We were able to have all of these type of things by what he told him to set up. A lot was riding on this guy's shoulders. Same thing with Mashiach. The heavens and the earth, the light, the sun, the moon, the stars, the birds, the everything. Can we eat without the stuff that he created? Are we even here without the stuff he created? No. Right? It go hand in hand. Right? John chapter 12 and verse 49. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long with that. John chapter 12 and verse 49. My bad. So Bezale'El did everything that who told him to do. The Most High, right? He followed completely everything he did step by step was by the Most High's word. John 12:49. Exactly.
John chapter 12 and verse 49. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me, He gave me a commandment what I should say and what I should speak.
So the Father, the one who told Hamashiach to come and do everything that he did, right? So this is evident that they similar in a lot of ways, right? Get Exodus 35. My question now is, well, we know, was Bezale'El alone in the work that he did?
No.
He wasn't alone. How many people did he have? Aholiab and who else? A whole host of people, right? To do the work on what? On the temple, on the house. Right? Exodus 35 and 30. Remember I was talking about how it says that the Most High gave these people wisdom and understanding in the work that they had to work. Now we about to look at how he actually gave them that understanding. 35 and 30. Exodus 35 and 30. Y'all stay with me. Stay with me.
Exodus chapter 35 and 30. And Moses said unto the children of Israel, See, Yahuwah have called by name,
He says again,
Bezale'El, the son of Uriah, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. And he hath filled him with the spirit or ruach of the Most High, in wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to devise curious works.
to do what?
To devise curious works.
What does the word curious mean? Say it again.
Unknown.
It's like unknown, right? Stuff that people ain't seen before. Stuff people ain't used to. Same thing with Mashiach. When he hit the scene, he was doing all type of stuff. They're like, man, what, all this understanding he got, the work that he doing with his hands, man, what's up with, who is this guy? Right? Read.
To devise curious works, to work in gold and in silver.
I don't know, man. I mean, we got one. Got 1, 2, 3. We gonna see. He gonna explain it.
The light in this world.
Behold, you are called an Israelite, and resteth in the law, and makest thy boast of Yah.
Do y'all boast of y'all? Do y'all keep his law? Do y'all rest in his law? I mean, it's not nothing that deep, I don't think. Right? Keep reading that.
And knoweth his will,
Uh-huh.
and approveth the things that are more excellent, being instructed out of the law.
Being instructed out of what?
The law.
Uh-huh.
And art confident that thou thyself art a guide of the blind.
So wait a minute. So this ain't necessarily talking about everybody. Could be. We'll see how it's not. But it says you are a guide of the blind. Read on.
And art confident that thou thyself art a guide of the blind, a light of them which are in darkness.
Now, can you, your person, be a light to the people that's in darkness? Absolutely. We are the children of the light. So anybody in darkness ought to be able to see. Right? Read on.
An instructor of the foolish,
Are we instructors of the foolish? All of us, right? Go ahead.
a teacher of babes,
Hold up. Y'all teach the babies? Teachers of the babies? Okay. Go ahead.
which has the form of knowledge, and of the truth in the law.
Y'all teach the truth in the law? Sure? I'm just asking, you sure? Go ahead.
Thou therefore, which teacheth another,
Y'all teach other people? Okay.
teachest thou not thyself?
Teach you not what?
Thyself?
Teach you not yourself? Now, same thing with Bezale'El. If you're going to teach other people, you got to know how to do it. If you're going to teach other people, you got to be able to do it yourself. We see he was skilled in that, right? So when he go out and he telling these people, hey man, when you building on this cedar wood, you got to do this, that, and the third. You got to cut it 3/8 of an inch. You know what I'm saying? Because he can show them how to do it. The same thing when it comes to the book. If you're going to tell anybody anything, thus saith the Most High, make sure you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that we follow it. Make sure that we ain't blaspheming. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
Though thou therefore wilt teach another, teachest thou not thyself? Thou that preachest a man should not steal. Do you steal?
Do y'all be stealing the pencils at work? At the credit union? You take the ones at the credit union? Ask them next time. Oh, they said, oh, well, you ain't stealing. You ain't stealing. They turn their head, you like, right? Go ahead.
Thou that sayest a man should not commit adultery. Dost thou commit adultery?
Self-explanatory.
Thou that abhorrest idols, dost thou commit sacrilege? Thou that makest thy boast of the law, through breaking the law, dishonoreth the Most High?
Hold up. How can you make your boast in the law by breaking the law? Give me an example. Huh?
Example how that was done.
Right? I do this, I do that. But what else come with it though?
But you don't.
But you don't. Hey man, you need to keep the Sabbath, homie. You better cook, man. The Most High gonna kill you and keep that Sabbath. I gotta go clock in right quick though. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to class with you.
You know my heart.
You know what I'm saying? You can't boast in the law and say, oh man, I keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, but you working on the Shabbat.
He understands. He know we in this captivity.
Right.
Show me the verse.
Exactly.
Show it to me.
I don't need no man to teach me. I taught that myself. No, it don't work like that, right? You can't make your boast in the law and breaking the law at the same time, right? Read.
For the name of Yah is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you.
So anybody, any one of us that's out here teaching to anybody and we ain't doing what we teaching, his name blasphemed through you. Because you put yourself in that position to teach. You wasn't necessarily given it. You put yourself in that position. So you got to come correct. If it's something you don't know about, something you can't really answer or explain, or leave that thing alone. Hey man, I know somebody that do. I know somebody that know. And then your job is to go and learn it yourself. Right? But more importantly to the leaders that's in Israel, right? Right? I'm speaking to myself. I'm speaking to everybody else that teach and preach the word of the Most High. We got to make sure we come correct. Alright? Let's get Luke 24 and 44. So we know Bezale'El taught the stuff that he knew. We know he wasn't going back and, you know what I'm saying, he told them to use, you know, cut it 3/8 of an inch, and then he go back and cut it 4 and say, oh man, close enough. You know, I can do it by eye right here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna use the ruler. You know what I'm saying? He don't do that, right? So we got to be the same way. Don't cut corners. If you know you got to do it, do it. What'd you say? Say it again. Measure twice, cut once. When I was first told that, I was like, I think like 11 or 12 years old, and I didn't understand what he meant. When he said, hey, measure twice, cut once. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because if you don't measure it precisely, how many times you going to end up cutting? You might even end up getting a new piece.
You know, it's like once you cut it once and it's wrong, it's over with.
It's a wrap. Now you got to try to piece stuff together. You got to.
Not a month. Once the metal gone, you can't put metal back on.
Well, that's true.
It's very important to know how to read a ruler, for real.
Yeah, it's definitely important to know how to read a ruler.
For real.
By the way, most standard rulers has how many inches? 12 tribes of Israel. Look, we just started that back. Y'all about to pay attention to them rulers.
We gonna be the rulers.
Right, because we gonna be the rulers. Exactly. And then what they got on the flip side of the ruler? What's the other measurement on the other side? 144. See, 2 sticks. 2 rulers put together. Right? What's on the other side of the ruler? What's on the flip side?
The numberable number.
What type of measurement?
Metric.
Centimeter? See, that's the fake inches. Them ain't the real inches. You know what I'm saying? On the flip side of the real children of Israel, you got the Jewish. You know what I'm saying? They don't work together. So that's why we use the inches. We don't really deal with centimeters. Right. Somebody gonna come out with that doctrine. I guarantee you. The rulers are joking. The rulers of Israel. With the ruler on it. That's not for real. Please don't comment on my page talking about Mary y'all. Yeah, Quab and them.
Y'all worshiping wood.
Right. Luke 24 and 44. Let's see Hamashiach teaching those things that he knew. Right?
Luke chapter 24 and 44. And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you.
When I was what?
While I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses.
So he taught him in the law. What else?
And in the prophets.
He taught him in the prophets. What else?
And in the Psalms.
And in the what?
And in the Psalms.
The writings as a whole concerning
me.
Go ahead.
Then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scriptures.
So he opened their understanding. He taught these men this stuff so they can go out and do what? Teach other people. So they can continue on the work after he gone. Right? Because he told them to go and preach the word to all what? Preachers. Right? So you got, I would imagine you got with Bezale'El in the building of the temple, all this type of things. You got carpenters, carvers, what I put on here, landscape. You got everything, architects, everything, right? That he had to teach. And he taught all of these men in all of those fields, right? So if he set up these men in these fields and taught them this stuff, shouldn't Hamashiach have done the same thing? Every office that he gave, shouldn't he have operated in those offices? Can we show that in the book? Because if we can't, then we got to try to get around it somehow. We can show it? Okay.
Chapter verse, show me.
He said what you want to know. Let's get Ephesians chapter 4. Yeah, Mark said, Ephesians. That's the one. Ephesians chapter 4. So in order to teach these things and give out these offices, because we know he gave offices, right?
Yep.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 gave a whole bunch of offices that he gave out, right? Matter of fact, hold what you got. Go to 1 Corinthians. Get to Ephesians 4 and hold it. And let's go to 1 Corinthians 12. Because it's a difference between these two things, even though they one and the same. I know that sounds crazy, but we're going to go to it and see what we're talking about. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Because the crazy thing is, man, from what I've seen being in this walk, being just in the world, period, man, everybody want to hold the top dog position. Everybody want to be the man. Everybody want to, you know what I'm saying? I want people to look up to me. I want people, I don't care if you're in a Christian church. I don't care if you're in an Israelite congregation. I don't care what. You always got people who want to be that guy when it's not meant for everybody to be that guy. If everybody was meant to be that guy, we wouldn't have no Indians. You know what I'm saying? It's all right with being an Indian. Everybody ain't got to be a chief. You know what I'm saying? 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. Wherefore I give you understanding, that no man speaketh by the Ruach of the Most High, calleth Yahusha accursed, that no man can say Yahusha is master, but by the Ruach HaKodesh. Now there are diversities of the gifts, but the same Ruach. So
the Ruach gives diversity of gifts, right? You might operate in this. Somebody else might operate in this, but it's coming from the same Ruach. Same thing with Bezale'El. You might be an architect. You might be a carver. You might be somebody that deal with the oil. But it all came from the same guy that taught you how to do this stuff, right? Read.
And there are differences of administrations, but the same master. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same Most High which worketh all in all.
So he the one who doing the work, really. You know what I'm saying? But we are accomplishing his work through the things that he give us, right? We agree? Go ahead.
But the manifestation of the Ruach is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Ruach of word of wisdom.
Somebody can give you words of wisdom. They don't necessarily have to be a teacher to give you words of wisdom. Not necessarily, right? Read.
And to another the word of knowledge by the same Ruach.
So now somebody can put you up on game, give you knowledge about something, right? But it don't mean that it got to come from the same person that gave you the wisdom. When you gain knowledge, you get wisdom from the stuff that you know. You know what I'm saying? Read.
To another, faith by the same Ruach.
But all of these is coming from the what? The same Ruach. It's the same one that's giving out all of them, right? So if you was dealing with Bezale'El, right? And you like, man, I really want to know this, man, but I can't get in touch with him. You can go to a holy ad. They dealt under the same Ruach, right? They dealt under the same type of spirit. They dealt under the same thing, right? You can go to him. It's no problem. Read.
And to another the gifts of healing by the same Ruach.
I know I ain't got no healing powers. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be the wrong person to come to and say, Trav, man, my leg hurting. You know, go ahead and lay hands on. I don't know. I can't operate in that. That's not me. Right? Read.
To another, the working of miracles. To another, prophecy. To another, discerning of spirits. To another, diverse kinds of tongues. And to another, the interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh the one and the self-same Ruach, dividing to every man severally as he will.
For the body.
For as the body is one, and have made many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Hamashiach.
So it's the same thing, right? We got many different offices, many different things that you can be given, but it's all coming one under Hamashiach, right? Now, are all of these people that he named, that these different gifts, are they teachers? Are they apostles? Are they? They could be, right? But Can you have wisdom and not be a teacher? Can you have the gift of healing but not be a prophet? Yes, right? So we see that there's a separation. You can be a prophet, an apostle, all of these things with these things, but you can also be outside of those offices, right? So let's see something. Go to Ephesians chapter 4. So you got the administering of these gifts, but you don't necessarily have to be in a position of power to show them, right? 4 and 7.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 7.
Now, who is this speaking? Whose epistle letter is this? Shaul, right? What does he say?
But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of the Messiah.
Now, he says every one of them is given grace with this gift, right? Read.
Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men.
Who did he give gifts to? Who?
Disciples.
The disciples, the apostles, right? Because these is the people who was around. It's just like Elijah and Elisha, right? When he ascended up, he gave down his power, right? Read.
Now that he have ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all Shamaim, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles.
So now we going into specific offices, right? He gave some to be apostles.
And some prophets.
Some prophets.
And some evangelists. And some pastors and teachers for the perfection of the saints.
So he gave specific offices right here. Now we ain't talking about just the Ruach, right? We talking about what Mashiach gave as specific offices. Apostles, teachers, bees and quabs with the pastors. And then you know what I'm saying? He gave specific.
I am no pastor.
No.
But hold on, let me ask you something. Did you go to theologian school or not?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
I didn't go.
Go ahead. Me?
Kobe.
I'm a Moreh. I'm just a mere teacher.
I'm Kobe.
Give me one of the five. I'll pick one.
Teacher. Teacher.
Hey, I'll show y'all off cam who he is. I'll show y'all off
I
cam.
am cold. That's it.
What do evangelists usually do?
Go in the streets.
Yeah. They the ones who, just like what the apostles did, just like what Mashiach did. They went around from city to city. They went around from, you know what I'm saying, preaching and teaching the word. By the evangelists.
They feminize it. Right.
That's because that's a whole nother topic. But no, right? So we got Mashiach who gave specific offices, right? He gave, read that again. 11.
And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers,
Right?
for the perfecting of the saints,
Of the what?
for the work of the ministry.
Now, he gave these offices for the perfecting of the body and the work of the ministry. Same thing with Bezale'El, right? When he said, hey man, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, I need you to... It was all for the perfecting of the temple. It was all to bring everything together. Right? Read.
For the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, till we all come in unity of faith and of the knowledge of the Son of the Most High, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
So we got to wait till Mashiach come back for all the deception to be gone. We ain't going to be able to get away from it right now. Unless we do what? stay in the law.
We talked about how the law stirs up sin. We looked at that. So if we Christians hope for victory over sin, we shouldn't have any relationship with the law, not even the 10 Commandments. If we should hope for victory over sin, we should not have any relationship with the law, which is over 600 of them, and also not even the Big Ten. Not even the Big Ten. Oh, I know that's just freaking your tradition out. Not even the Big Ten. Because Jesus died to free me from the Big Ten.
That's the only way we're going to get away from the deception. Only way we're going to be able to get away from the deceit. Because are there false apostles, false teachers, false pastors, all of these things, right? Just like his son for good. You know what I'm saying? But Mashiach held these offices before he gave them. Mashiach was an apostle because he got direct revelation from the Most High. Mashiach was a teacher because he was a teacher. He was a pastor. We'll get into that later with Timothy. He was a pastor, right? He was an evangelist. He traveled around from place to place, right? He was a prophet. He prophesied, right? So he had to actually walk in these offices before he can give it out. You know what I'm saying? You got to practice what you preach, right? Like they say, right? But still got to be equipped. It's a lot of teachers that ain't equipped. A lot of pastors that ain't equipped. 1 Timothy chapter 3. Huh? It's a lot of us that are in these offices that are not equipped for the job. You know what I'm saying? It's not called to be there. Now, granted, you got people who were given. Now, Mashiach gave specific offices to his apostles, right? But what did he have them go do after? He had them go set up people, right? So it's evident that people, even if they don't get direct revelation from the Most High being an apostle, right? You got people who, hey, Mark, I think it's time for you to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? I think it's time for you to teach. I think you here's your responsibility. That's what you got to do, right? That's what was done with me. I didn't want to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? That's the honest truth. You know what I'm saying? But some people set up people to teach, right? A lot of that is what happened. You know what I'm saying? The people set up pastors and bishops and all of these type of things. This stuff's not new. In Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, he told you to set up a ruler over the people. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at this stuff, though, it's just because you were set up don't mean that you equipped. You know what I'm saying? 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 7. I mean, 1 Timothy, wait, I think it's chapter 1. I'm sorry. Chapter 1 and verse 3. Timothy 1 and 3. Is it 3? No. That's the one I'm getting for you. I will show y'all I can, man. My eye, man. Nah, 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 3.
1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 3. Mm-hmm. And I besought thee to abide still at Ephesus when I went into Macedonia, that thou mightest charge some that they teach no other doctrine.
Hey, tell people when you look, don't teach a different doctrine from what the apostles came and laid down. Right? Read.
Neither give heed to fables and endless genealogies.
Well, my uncle, cousin, brother, sister, you know what I'm saying, homeboy, we all kind of related. But you know, Mashiach was my first cousin. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm a Levitical priest from the tribe of Levi because
they took us to Haiti.
Endless genealogies. This is what people literally do this today. Playing with it. I'm a priest because I'm Haitian. What are you talking about? oh, you know, because I got an accent, I'm a priest. No, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. Y'all know the commercials, y'all. Keep reading.
Which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith. So do. Now the end of the commandments is charity out of a pure heart and of a good conscience and of faith unfeigned, from which some have swerved, have turned aside unto vain jangling, desiring to be teachers of the law.
Doing what?
Desiring to be teachers of the law.
You got people out here who desire to be teachers of the law. That's just what they want to do. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? No. But their eagerness to do so can lead them into a path of destruction, not only for themselves, but for the people that they teach. Right? Go ahead.
Desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say, nor whereof they affirm.
They want to be teachers, but they don't understand what they're talking about. Nor what they affirm. What does it mean to affirm something? State confidently, right? To stand on that. You don't even know what you stand on. Right? But you're a teacher. Right? This is a lot of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It happens. You know what I'm saying? Get 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Now, I told y'all to write down the word workman, right? Right? So, who was allotted the position of a workman? Bezale'El, right? And the people that he gave the instructions to do the work on the house. Right? Now, let's go to that scripture. 2 Timothy 2 and 15.
2 Timothy 2 and 15. And to shew thyself approved.
To do what?
And to shew thyself approved unto the Most High.
Is there anything wrong with showing yourself approved to the Most High? Do we do this on a daily? Or you know what I'm saying? Just do we do this in general? Right? Like the people, like we always say, man, study and show yourself approved, man. Right? There's nothing wrong with that. Read.
Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. A workman.
A what?
A workman.
But we use it out of context. When we use it in context, who is this talking about? Keep reading that. We're gonna see.
A workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Rightly dividing the word of truth. Who is he talking about when he says the workmen? The teachers, the people who are teaching, who are instructing the people. Right? He told them this for one reason. Don't make yourself look like a fool. Don't make the ministry look bad because you don't know what you know. Study to show yourself to be approved before the Most High. Right? Jump up to verse 2.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 2. And the thing that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to the faithful men. Who shall
to the who?
To the faithful men.
To the faithful men that what?
Who shall be able to teach others also.
Right? So this is he getting specific. Right? When we talking about these offices about people having wisdom or healing, all that, that's not a specific. A man or a woman can have that. That's not nothing that we can say that this is something, you know, this person can't do, that person can't do. Right? But right here he's speaking specifically. He says that what?
And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also.
Read.
Though therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Hamashiach, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him.
Who have what?
That please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
So when we look at this and we look at this study to show yourself to be approved, he's talking about a workman. He's talking about somebody who was set up to teach and preach to the people. Now, is it a wrong thing for you to go in a book and make sure that what you studying is right, what people telling you is right? No. Are you supposed to study to make yourself to know what you're supposed to know? Absolutely. But this is talking about the workman. So don't get it twisted like I'm saying, oh, we ain't supposed to study. We ain't supposed to. No, that's not what I'm saying. But in context, he's speaking specifically to a workman. Right? Do we see that? Get 1 Chronicles chapter 22. 1 Chronicles chapter 22. Now, we seen Mashiach holding the same offices, I mean not same offices, but the same things that Bezale'El had, right? In different spots. But do we see, can we see them all together somewhere? You know what I'm saying? I want to show y'all another similitude right quick. 1 Chronicles chapter 22. We got a couple more and we done, I promise. I know you're like, oh, you're taking too long today.
Are you talking about somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be specific.
Saying similitude.
You're saying somebody else.
Oh, okay. Not Bezale'El. Not Bezale'El. Read that out. 22 at verse 12.
First Chronicles 22 and 12. Only Yahuwah giveth thee wisdom and understanding, and give thee charge concerning Israel, that thou mayest keep the law of Yahuwah thy power.
So it says Yahuwah gave him wisdom and understanding, right? Read.
Then shalt thou prosper, if thou takest heed to fulfill the statutes and judgments which Yahuwah charged Moses with concerning Israel.
Matter of fact, hold up. Start at verse 10. Verse 9.
Verse 8. Verse 9. Behold, a son shall be born to thee, who shall be a man of rest.
Now, who is this talking about? Solomon on the surface. But it says a man shall be born to you, or a son shall be born to you, and he shall be what?
A man of rest.
That's a prophecy of Hamashiach. We're going to see the difference even in reading this. Right? The difference between Solomon and Mashiach. Right? Read.
And I will give him rest from all his enemies round about. For his name shall be called Solomon.
Anybody know what Solomon's name means?
Shalom, man.
Peaceable? What you say, Joshua? He's going to say peace? Okay. So, he's a man of peace, right? Mashiach was called the what?
Prince of Peace.
Prince of Peace, right? Now, I'm not saying that this is not talking about Solomon. But we got to be able to put them spiritual glasses on, right? Read.
Behold, a son shall be born unto you, who shall be a man of rest, and I will give him rest from all his enemies round about. For his name shall be called Solomon, and I will give peace and quietness unto Israel in his days. He shall build an house for my name.
He shall what?
He shall build an house for my name.
In 3 days, I'm gonna tear down the tabernacle and build it up in what? In 3 days, I'm gonna build this back up. He was building a house to the Most High. But what was he speaking of? He was speaking of himself when he said that, right? Read.
He shall build an house for my name, and he shall be my son, and I will be his father.
Wait a minute. Who Solomon's father is? That's prophecy. I'm going to be his father. We ain't saying this ain't talking about Solomon on the surface. But you got to look past it. He says, I'm going to be his father.
You reaching out. You reaching.
I take that. Right? Read on.
I know he ain't reaching. And I will give him peace and quietness in Israel in his days. He shall build an house for my name, and he shall be my son, and I will be his father. And I will establish the throne of his kingdom over Israel.
For how long?
Forever.
Wait a minute. Ain't Solomon dead? What are we talking about right here? Gotta be. Right? Read on.
Now, my son, Yahuwah be with you, and prosper you, and build a house of Yahuwah thy power. And he have said of thee, only Yahuwah give thee wisdom and understanding.
Now wait a minute. He says, only Yahuwah give you wisdom and understanding, right? Now, this would make you an apostle. This would be like the office of Paul, right? Because he was getting direct revelation from who? From Mashiach, right? Who did Mashiach go to for understanding or wisdom or knowledge? Straight from the Father. Read. It says, only Yahuwah will give wisdom and understanding. Go ahead.
And give thee charge concerning Israel, that thou mayest keep the law of Yahuwah thy power. Then shalt thou prosper, if thou takest heed unto fulfill the statutes and the judgments which Yahuwah charged Moses with concerning Israel. Be strong and of a good courage. Dread not, nor be dismayed.
So this is a prophecy of Mashiach doing the same thing that Bezale'El was set up to do. Build a house. Right? But this one he was going to establish his kingdom forever through him. Right? Now, get Exodus chapter 31. Let's go back to Bezale'El right quick and let's get one last point. One last point. Because Bezale'El was not only over creating building the temple, mercy seat, all of those type of things, the oils, everything like that, right? What else? What's one thing we haven't really went into about what he did? Huh? He obeyed. What else? What's the thing we didn't really go into? We went into him building. We went into him teaching. We went into him doing the oils and all that. What did he do, or what was he in charge of that we didn't go into and look at? Huh? Nope. We touched on that just a little bit. We didn't go into it, but it's one thing specifically that he did that we didn't even touch. The garments. Yeah, you should have knew. The garments, right? Exodus 31 and 10. Because lately, I can't get off of this garment thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's popping up over and over and over again, right? So I think this is going to be the last installment of the garments, right? So we're going to touch it briefly. Exodus 31 and 10.
Exodus chapter 31 and 10. And the clothes of the service of the Kodesh garments for Aaron the priest.
So he was supposed to make the clothes of service for the priest, for Aaron the priest, right? Read.
And the garments of his sons.
And the garments of his sons, the people that came after him, right? So these garments were only specified for the priest. Get Revelations chapter 1 and verse 6. And to finish out that verse, he said, to minister in the priest's office. Yep, Revelations 1 and 6.
Cause on 1 and 6. And have made us kings and priests.
So who made us kings and priests? Shiach, right? He made us kings and priests. Read.
Unto the Most High and his Father. And to him be esteem and dominion forever and ever.
So he made us kings and priests. Quad went over this last week, right? So if we are kings and priests, what kings had on special attire, priests had on special attire. But we're speaking about Bezale'El right now, right? So who did he make the garment for? The priest. Now he done said that he gonna make us kings and priests throughout, right? Get Ezekiel chapter 44. Matter of fact, hold up. Before you go to Ezekiel 44, 1 Kings chapter 7. 1 Kings chapter 7. So if you're going to be a priest, that means you got to have on what? The garment that was made by
me.
by Bezale'El, right? At that time. Now, today, if you're going to be a priest, you got to be wearing what? Garments from Hamashiach, right? 1 Kings 7 and 12.
1 Kings chapter 7 and verse 12. And the great court round about was with 3 rows of huge stones and a row of cedar beams, both for the inner court of the house of Yahuwah and for the porch of the house.
So he had to create the inner court and the outer court too, right? This was also what was made, right? In the building of the temple through Solomon, right? The inner court, which where the priests went to minister unto the Most High, right? Get 2 Chronicles 29 and 15. So the priests had to go, they had to put on these garments to even go before him, right? 2 Chronicles 29 and 15.
2 Chronicles 29 and 15. And they gathered their brethren and sanctified themselves and came, according to the commandment of the king, by the words of Yahuwah, to cleanse the house of Yahuwah.
So the priest had to cleanse the house of Yahuwah at this particular time, right? Read on.
And the priests went into the inner parts of the house.
So when they cleaned it, they had to go into the inner parts and clean it as well, right? This was through Hezekiah, right? Stay with me. Read on.
In the inner parts of the house of Yahuwah to cleanse it, and brought out all uncleanness that they found in the temple of Yahuwah into the court of the house of Yahuwah.
Ain't Mashiach going to come and clean out the house? Right? Read.
And the Levites took it to carry it out abroad into the brook Kidron.
Ezekiel 44 and 18. So now the court is cleaned out, right? So now in order for you to go in it, especially as a priest, you got to be what? You got to be washed. You got to wash your hands. You got to wash your feet, wash your body. And you got to put on these garments that was prepared for the priest. Because if you was in there without it, what was going to happen to you? You was going to be dead, right? You ain't coming back out, right? Ezekiel 44 and 18.
Ezekiel chapter 44 and 18. And they shall have linen bonnets upon their heads.
Hold on, wait, read that again.
And they shall have linen bonnets upon their heads.
So it says, if you going in to minister unto the Most High in the inner court, you got to have a what on your head?
A linen bonnet upon their heads.
Is that a head covering? I say that to say that we get a lot of flack from people saying that, oh, why do y'all cover y'all heads when y'all teaching the word? Paul said, well, you got to understand where the man got it from. All right, that's another topic. He just put a lesson up about it. Check the lesson. Right? You got to have a bonnet. Read on.
They shall have linen bonnets upon their heads, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins. And they shall not gird themselves with anything that causeth sweat. And when they go forth into the utter court, even into the utter court to the people, they shall put off their garments wherein they minister, and lay them in the Kodesh chamber.
These garments were so Kodesh that you couldn't wear them outside. This is like your school clothes when you get home with your mama. Boy, you better take them school clothes. Don't you go outside playing them school clothes. Right? These is them. And you couldn't just put them on the bed. He said, put these in the what? In the Kodesh chamber. You can't, don't put them in the regular chamber over there. Put them in the Kodesh chamber, right? This is how important these garments was for the priest. Read.
And they shall put on other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments.
You can't even go and do a cleansing of the people or sanctifying the people with these garments. Everything got to be clean when you got these on. Right? Y'all see where I'm going with it, right? Everything got to be clean already. Get Revelations chapter 7 and verse 13. Revelation 7 and 13. Revelation 7 and 13.
Kazon 7 and 13. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, what are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they?
Who are these people that got on these white robes and where they come from? Right? Read.
And I said unto him, Sir, you knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes.
And have done what?
Washed their robes.
They clean. They washed their robes. What else?
And made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
Who gave these garments out? Mashiach. Right? Because you had to wash them in the what?
In the blood.
You had to wash them in the blood of the Lamb. Read.
Therefore are they before the throne of the Most High.
They what?
They are before the throne of the Most High.
Who was allotted the position to go in before the throne of the Most High? The priest. So he's telling you, these people that's arrayed in these things is going to be on the inner court before the Most High. Read.
Therefore they, before the throne of the Most High, serve him day and night.
Serve him what?
Day and night.
Where at?
In his temple.
Serve him day and night in his temple. The same thing that the priest had to do. Right? Read.
And he that sitteth upon the throne shall dwell among them.
So he didn't sit on the throne, gonna dwell among them. Now let's get a bonus. Keep reading.
And they shall hunger no more.
What the stuff that we going through, we see our people hungry. We see our people over in the Africas, quote unquote, right? Hungry, starving. We got people in the city hungry, starving. He said they ain't gonna hunger no more. Read.
But they shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more. Neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat.
Read.
For Yahuwah, for the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living foundations of water.
He gonna lead them unto the fountains of water. Right? Don't John chapter 7 and 38 say, he that believe on me shall have a belly flowing with living water? Read.
And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
The Most High gonna wipe away the tears from your eyes. Right? So you're gonna have this garment on, you're gonna be clean, you're gonna be before the Most High. He gonna wipe away your tears, and you gonna have this garment on. Last joint, Isaiah chapter 61. In verse 10.
Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 10. And I will greatly rejoice in Yahuwah. My soul shall be joyful in my power. For he hath clothed me.
What happened?
For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation.
He done gave me the garments of salvation. Read.
He hath covered me with the robe of righteousness.
The people that was arrayed in them white robes, he gave me the robe of righteousness. Read.
As a bridegroom decketh himself with an ornament, as a bride adorn herself with her jewels.
With that, say shalom.
Shalom.
What did he do? He carried on the work after Bezale'El was right. He finished out the details, right? Get that Exodus 31 and verse 2.
Exodus chapter 31 and verse 2. See, I have called by name Bezale'El, the son of Uriah, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the spirit of the Most High in wisdom and in understanding and in knowledge and in all manner of workmanship, to devise cunning works, to work in gold and in silver and in brass, and the cutting of stones to set them, and the carving of timber to work in all manner of workmanship.
So we got Aholiab, right? He was a carver, he was an engraver, he was his right-hand man. What did his name mean? Tent, right?
Yeah.
Father's tent, right?
Father's tent.
Or tabernacle, or right? So y'all don't have no idea who he is right now? In Matthew chapter 16. Say he us? Yep. Matthew chapter 16. Huh? Hold up, before we read that, let me see something else right quick, man.
Matthew what?
Matthew chapter 16. Father's tent, right? Or tabernacle. Alright? Matthew chapter 16 and start at verse 13.
Matthew chapter 16 and verse 13. And when Yahusha came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Whom do men say that the Son of Man am? And they said, Some say that you are John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. And he saith unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, You are Hamashiach, the Son of the living power. And Yahusha answered and said unto him, Increase the Yah, are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto you, but my Father which is in Shamayim. And I say also unto you that you are Peter. Upon this rock.
Upon the what?
Upon this rock I will build my congregation, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
So he told Peter himself that he was going to use him to do what? On you was I was going to put my base to build my congregation. So who carried on the work after he was gone? The apostles all together. But who did he assign? Peter. This was his guy that was going to finish the building of the temple, so to speak. Right? Remember, him and Paul had some issues. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I'm that guy, man. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You can't come on the scene talking about he done told you to do this and do that. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy. He was an engraver, right? All of the stuff that he did was tools that were used, that were sharp tools, right? What did Peter just so happen to do when they came to get him?
Cut their ear off.
Snatch their ear off. Quick! Can't live by that sword, man. You know what I'm saying? But that was just like the shorted version of showing who Aholiab is. We can go into the extended version, but this is the shorted version.
Right there, all right?
There's also,
She's like, my friend said.
You know, but
there's also the precept to one of your scripts where it says, only the Most High will teach you.
what you talking about? Hamashiach?
No, remember you said,
John 6.
what script that? We said, yeah,
John 6 and 44.
right, so only
You taught of Yah?
right.
Yep, that's John 6 and
It
44.
said here, the Most High revealed it to you, not man.
Absolutely.
Fell into a bridge? You fell into a bridge?
All right, y'all. So nobody still want to pray out? All right. We got a winner. Sister Michelle gonna pray out for us.